Only 6 letters in on a weekly challenge I started last September, but it's changed a lot for me. I made the first 3 videos and didn't make another for over 6 months. There's a Jemima Kirk interview from years ago where she talks about the voice in her head every time she went into her painting studio. Like someone was holding a gun to her head and saying, "You better make a good piece right now, or you're nothing." Alphabet Superset was designed to overcome that perfectionism of only putting your highlights on display. And if you're anything like me, nothing ever feels good enough. But if you aren't setting clear-cut mile markers towards completed things, even if they're just pieces of the puzzle, it kind of all ends up a jumble of unmade ideas. At week 3, I saw a writing course advertised by a poet I've loved for over a decade.
Illusion of the future and misinformation of the past is right. Just let it go right now. Like for the next hour or for the rest of your life, your choice. What's done is done, y'all. Hang up on it, land the plane, do not get on that train. The bus has already left. This too, all of it, all of us, everything shall pass. Shake it off, cut your losses, bust loose, break free. It is water under the bridge. What comes around, goes around, go around. Get over it, get it together, get a grip, get moving, keep moving, move on, move forward, mark, stop, drop it, squash it, please, release, relax. Spilled water cannot be poured back. Do not look back. Enough is enough. Stand down, stay still, be quiet, yield, quit dwelling, forget it, forgive it right now. As is, you will be given back the years that the locusts have taken.
It was called Writers Anonymous. Writing is something I've always loved doing but felt very vulnerable about sharing. If I wasn't doing the project, I wouldn't ever have signed up. The class is one of the best things I've ever done. One week I wrote a poem titled "For Those Who Google How to Make Friends at Parties." I shared that holding a cigarette is an excuse to stand alone. Frankie, my classmate, spoke up to say he's never smoked.
And you're not alone in those feelings. The line about you're allowed to like just be alone with a cigarette, because like that, I've never been a smoker, but it's so true. Like when you have something to do, like I could never travel. I lived alone in a city for a long time, but I could never go anywhere unless I had a backpack or unless I had something to do with my hands that proved that I was going somewhere or doing something.
The thing is, I don't think art can be fully realised alone. That feeling of connection over shared weirdness that's the same but different, that feeling less alone is the reason for making anything. There is value in giving work time. Matt Berninger said in an interview on patience that you need to respect it takes time. Make sure to give yourself that time. Also respect the failure. Don't expect it to be there right away and don't expect it to stay, but you're in control of it. You can make whatever art you want. And I believe in that. I had never attempted to edit my writing before this class, and that process of actually believing in work and giving it time made me feel so much more capable of making something magic. Matt also said, failure is a badge of honour. Be willing to get out there and fail. If you're waiting for anxiety and fear and self-doubt to go away, you're going to wait forever. I don't think all of our failure can happen in private. There has to be a willingness to get things not quite right, or the work remains stuck in this ever-elusive pursuit of perfection. I was so scared at the thought of sharing my messy writing. Class was the most validating experience I've ever had in sharing work. I took the class a second time and signed up for a performance workshop. I don't know why. I don't know that I really want to perform. I didn't even submit my homework till midnight the night before the 4 AM class. And when I did, I didn't know what I wanted from it.
Like, I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know that I ever really want to get on the stage.
I just knew I would be disappointed in myself if I didn't submit something. After my performance video was played for the class, Buddy said this.
I've read an iteration of that poem, but it wasn't that yet. Not when you turned it into me the first time. I don't think you want much more from people than to be heard in that way. That writing was insanely good. As long as you're honest, specifically you, Narik, I think it's applicable for everybody, but specifically to who you are and what I just saw, if you stay honest to how you're feeling the whole step of the way, you're not going to be able to go wrong. You have something that precedes you that provides a comfort for people around them to relax and be themselves.
I could have missed this. I think it's a lot easier to talk ourselves off the horse when we're working alone. But if you just throw yourself in the deep end, you might get that magic trick rider moment of throwing yourself off the horse, only to swing your leg back over and hold on for dear life. And what a rush to get to experience that for the sake of experiencing it. There's a scene in Mistaken for Strangers where Matt is giving a pep talk to his brother.
Tom, you focus on the wrong stuff. It's true, you are terrible at a lot of things, but there are a couple of things that nobody else does as well as you do. It drives me bananas that you will throw yourself away completely because of one or two things that you think about that you think are wrong about you. And that's what breaks my heart. You gotta ignore those and lean towards the things that make you like yourself. Forget everything else. Fake it. Fake your way upwards.
You don't need to map out all the dot points before you start connecting them. You don't need to have all the answers to see things change. There are things worth making space for. And sometimes they're scary and you don't know if you're the person that can do them. But if you would be disappointed if you never tried, then just start. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you for being here. No, this is me starting over for the 100th time, but this is my first rodeo. I don't want to be making things if I'm not evolving and uncomfortable, if it doesn't feel a little bit nude and true. I want to learn to hold a little less tight and enjoy the ride. And I don't think that can be done alone. To the few strangers that have left me comments on my videos these past few weeks, I want to say it means the world to me. I hope this helps to find some sparks in your own world, and think about sharing your own with people that will understand.